A couple days ago, I made a video showing how you can get up to 2 shooting badges per MyCAREER game in NBA 2K22. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description below if you guys want to check it out. Now, luckily, I also found a pretty good method for earning your playmaking badges as well. In fact, I was able to earn almost double the amount of points going towards my playmaking badges in comparison to my shooting badges. So if you guys want to know how to earn up to 3 playmaking badges per MyCAREER game, this is the perfect video for you. Now, just like always, there are a few things I want to quickly go over before getting into the actual method. The first thing I want to go over is the team you're playing for. Unlike shooting badges, if you want to maximize the amount of points you're earning towards your playmaking category, you want to make sure you're playing on the right team. For this method, we're primarily going to be throwing alley-oop passes. So in order to make your job a lot easier, you want to make sure you're on a team that has some really good lob threats. So teams like the Lakers, Nets, Bucks, or even the Pelicans are really good teams to join if you're looking to throw alley-oops and earn playmaking badges fast. I'm currently on the Bulls, and players like Vucevic and Johnson are okay at catching lobs, but I would much rather have someone like Anthony Davis when grinding for these playmaking badges. Now, this method will of course still work regardless of which team you're currently on. It's just that certain teams make this a lot easier. Now, if you find yourself really struggling and you want to request a trade to one of those teams I mentioned earlier, I made a video showing how you can do just that. I'll make sure to leave a link to that as well in the card above and in the description below. The next thing I want to go over are the settings we'll be using for our actual MyCAREER games. So on this menu, we're going to scroll over to options and select settings. Now, I actually tested out this method on both pro difficulty as well as Hall of Fame. I found out that because of the difficulty multiplier, I was able to get way more points towards my playmaking badges while playing on Hall of Fame compared to playing on Pro. When it came to earning shooting badges, you had to be careful not to miss too many shots. Otherwise, it would start to affect how many points you would get at the end of the game. With playmaking badges, however, you could get as many turnovers as possible and none of them will affect how many points you earn. So because there's no penalty and you're still getting a ton of turnovers on pro difficulty anyway, I think it's absolutely worth upping the difficulty to Hall of Fame so you can get that difficulty multiplier and maximize the amount of points you earn. And just to show you exactly what I'm talking about, here's how many points I earned towards my playmaking badges on pro difficulty, and here's how many points I earned on Hall of Fame. This is why I recommend playing on Hall of Fame when grinding your playmaking badges. You also want to make sure your quarter length is set to 12 minutes. Another thing you may want to consider before doing this method is buying boosts for your player, especially if your pass accuracy rating isn't that high. I'm on my playmaking shot creator who has a pretty high pass accuracy already, so I don't need to buy any playmaking boosts. If you do need to buy boost though, the boost stand is located on deck 15 by the 3v3 courts. The last thing I want to quickly go over is the badge setup. Now, if you don't have any playmaking badges at the moment, you can obviously skip this part of the video. The main badge we're going to focus on here is a badge called Special Delivery. This badge will not only increase the shot chance for players after receiving a flashy pass, but most importantly, and what we care about, this badge will also increase our alley-oop throw success. So this badge basically replaces Lob City Passer from previous years. Now, there were some games where I didn't have this badge equipped. There were games where I had this badge on bronze, and there were even games where I had this on Hall of Fame. You'll definitely notice a difference from not having this badge on at all versus having it on bronze. Unfortunately, this badge doesn't eliminate turnovers altogether though. You'll just get less when compared to not having the badge equipped. So if you're looking to get playmaking badges using this method, make sure you have Special Delivery on at least bronze. Alright, so now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, we can start up a MyCAREER game and begin the playmaking badge process. Now, once we're in a game, just like we did in the shooting badge video, if we're able to call plays, on defense we're going to press left on the D-pad and call for a half-court trap. This is going to force a lot more double teams, and it's essentially going to get the ball out of the AI's hands and into yours. If you don't have the ability to call plays, you can either leave your matchup wide open and force them to hurry up and shoot the ball, or you can try to go for bump steals by running diagonally towards the ball handler while holding turbo and pressing the steal button. This way, you'll slowly be working on some of your defensive badges as well. Now, once we're on offense, what we're going to do, of course, is make sure the ball is in our hands, and then we're going to stop somewhere at the 3-point line. Then we're gonna hold L1 or LB to call for a screen. Once our teammate comes up to set the screen, we're gonna try to run our defender into it. As soon as you see your big man slip and start making his way to the basket, we're gonna double tap triangle or Y to throw the alley-oop. And you wanna make sure you're cutting to the basket when you throw the alley-oop, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But as long as your big man's defender is behind him and he isn't able to cut him off, it should be an easy alley-oop every time. Now, like I said, you want to make sure your big man doesn't get cut off on his way to the basket. For example, on the very next play, I stop at the 3-point line, call for the screen, and once my teammate comes up to set the screen, I run my defender into it. Now, although it may look like my big man has an easy path to the basket, you can see that at the last second, the AI gets in the way and forces him into this animation. This is going to happen a lot when grinding for your badges, but after enough practice, you'll start to understand when it's actually safe to throw the alley-oop and when it's not. You can see after my big sets the screen and rolls to the basket, his defender is still behind him. So this is a good time to throw the alley-oop. However, on this play, the defender is still in front of my big man, and if I were to throw the alley-oop here, the defender will be able to easily cut him off, and that'll be another turnover for me. Now, even if you do this method perfectly, you call for a screen, your big man slips towards the basket and beats his defender, sometimes the AI will start to adapt to your playstyle and they will find any way to interrupt the pass. Or even worse, there may even be times where your big man just decides not to jump for the ball and you'll end up getting a turnover that way. So just keep in mind that sometimes you may get unforced turnovers that are simply out of your control. Now, the reason why we're throwing an alley-oop pass in the first place instead of a regular pass is because lobs are worth twice the amount of points as regular passes. On Hall of Fame difficulty, we get 289 badge points for a regular assist and 578 badge points for an alley-oop assist. So because alley-oops are worth more points, we want to make sure we're taking advantage of that in order to get our playmaking badges much faster. Now, not only are we getting an alley-oop assist on this play, but this also counts as an attack assist as well as a pick and roll assist. On Hall of Fame, an attack assist and a pick and roll assist are both worth 330 points each. So if we add up the 578 points we get for throwing the alley-oop, as well as the 330 points we get for getting an assist while attacking the basket, plus the 330 points we get for getting an assist via the pick and roll, that's 1,238 badge points we're earning just on this one play alone. That is why this is the best method for earning playmaking badges fast. Now, after repeatedly doing this method on Hall of Fame difficulty in 12-minute quarters, you can see that at the end of the game, I was able to get 28 alley-oop assists, 24 attack assists, and 28 pick and roll assists in this one game. This adds up to over 33,000 points towards my playmaking category, and that doesn't even include the additional 20,000 or so badge points I got just for playing on Hall of Fame difficulty. This is how I was able to earn 53,000 points towards my playmaking badges in just this one MyCAREER game. As you can see, I earned 2 whole playmaking badges, and I definitely would have gotten even more had I not already maxed out that category. Here's another example of me earning a ton of playmaking badges from just one game. Here I got 38 alley-oop assists, 27 attack assists, and 31 pick and roll assists. This adds up to over 41,000 points towards my playmaking badges, and again, that doesn't even include the difficulty multiplier you get for playing on Hall of Fame. So this is by far the best method to get playmaking badges fast in NBA 2K22. Hopefully, by practicing with this method, you'll be able to completely max out your playmaking badges in just a handful of games. Now, if you guys want to see videos on how to get your finishing or even defending badges fast, let me know in the comments below. But for now, hop in those MyCAREER games and get those playmaking badges.